Good morning, my fellow geography buffs. This is Ali, and welcome back to Urban Atlas. So in my previous video, we discussed 5 surprising facts about Canadian geography that most Canadians are not really aware of. Due to the success of that video and the amount of people that messaged me saying they want a part 2, let's do that. Let's go and do a part 2 of 5 surprising Canadian facts that Canadians are not really aware of. So let's start our journey today in the north of Canada. Specifically, let's head to Nunavut. Now, Nunavut, being one of the least dense areas in terms of its population, is of course going to be home to some relatively unexplored and unknown locations. Keep in mind that there are no roads connecting Nunavut to the rest of the Canadian provinces and territories. And thus, we can probably identify several facts about Nunavut that many Canadians are not aware of. However, for this video, we're going to focus on a mountain. We're going to look at Mount Thor on Baffin Island, also known as Thor Peak. This epically named and stunning mountain is famous for one thing. Mount Thor is famous for having the world's greatest vertical drop. The mountain's sheer cliff face stands at approximately 1,250 meters from base to summit. That is approximately 4,101 feet. And this makes this sheer vertical cliff face the most extreme vertical drop on Earth. Now, the mountain is part of the Ayutthaya National Park, which in itself is an epic location, which I would recommend every Canadian visit if they ever had the opportunity to. The Ayutthaya National Park is known for its dramatic glacial landscapes, fjords, as well as its rugged-looking mountains like Mount Thor. Now, from the icy landscape of Baffin Island, we head west, and we head to the famous Wood Buffalo National Park. And here we can find an odd but interesting geographical formation. You see, Wood Buffalo National Park is actually home to the world's largest beaver dam. Located in the middle of the park, far from any roads or trails, the dam is approximately 800 meters long from end to end and holds back the runoff water from the Birch Mountains in the southernmost end of Wood Buffalo National Park. While the actual length of the dam is close to 800 meters long, the perimeter of the dam area is close to 2,000 meters, and the pond formed by the dam is approximately 1 meter deep. That means the front end of the dam is about the length of 7 football fields, and the pond created by the dam holds approximately 1,600 hockey rinks of water. Interestingly, the dam was actually discovered by satellite imagery. Scientists were examining thousands of satellite images searching for the effects of permafrost when they noticed a distinctive horseshoe-shaped shoreline in the center of the Wood Buffalo National Park. The scientists then submitted their findings to Parks Canada back in 2009, and thus field staff responded with a site visit by helicopter to take photos and conduct measurements and eventually confirm that this was a beaver dam. And because of its remote location away from any roads or trails, the dam is extremely difficult to visit. And thus, travel to the dam is not possible by land, and landings by helicopter are not permitted. So your best bet if you want to see what this dam actually looks like is Google Maps or Google Earth. Now let's move on to number 3. I'm sure most of you have heard of the Dead Sea, which is a large salt lake located in the Middle East. Did you know there's a lake in Canada that's known as Canada's version of the Dead Sea? I'm talking about the Little Manitou Lake located in Saskatchewan. And like the Dead Sea, this lake is known for its high salinity and mineral content, which gives it a distinctive appearance and some special properties. The high amount of dissolved salts and minerals in this lake makes the lake water extremely buoyant. People who visit the lake can float effortlessly on the surface due to the extreme buoyancy. In addition, the lake is known for its mineral-rich mud, which is believed to have therapeutic properties. The minerals in the mud, which include sulfur and magnesium, are thought to be beneficial to skin and joint health. And because of this, many visitors come to the lake from far and wide to apply the mud on their skin for its reputed health benefits. The lake is situated approximately 130 kilometers southeast of the city of Saskatoon. Its proximity to Saskatoon makes it relatively accessible for those looking to explore its unusual waters. Manitou Beach, a nearby village, serves as a main access point for those wanting to visit the lake. Interestingly, while the high salt levels in the lake make it inhospitable for most aquatic life, there is some marine life located within the lake. Species such as brine shrimp and some types of bacteria actually thrive in the salty water. Little Manitou Lake stands out not only for its natural beauty, but also for its health and wellness benefits. Let's now leave Saskatchewan behind and head to a different part of Canada. Let's head to the Yukon. Now, would you be surprised if I told you Yukon was home to some sand dunes? When I say sand dunes, most people usually assume I'm talking about some sort of hot, arid environment. But in fact, the Yukon is home to some sand dunes, and these can be found in the Carcross Desert. And while it's called a desert, it's not technically a desert. And that's because it receives more than 250 millimeters of precipitation every year. And any region that receives more precipitation than this is technically not a desert. Nevertheless, the Carcross Desert is home to the northernmost sand dunes in North America. Now, the Carcross Desert is located approximately 50 kilometers south of the city of Whitehorse, and it's part of the larger Klondike Plateau region. The sand dunes cover approximately an area of 2.6 square kilometers. And like I previously mentioned, while it's called the Carcross Desert, it's actually a sand dune field that formed during the last ice age. The dunes were created by glacial meltwater from the retreating glaciers, which left behind large amounts of sand and silt. These sediments were then blown into the area where the desert is now located, giving rise to the desert-like landscape. The climate in the area is subarctic, with long cold winters and short warm summers. In the summer months, temperatures can reach up to 20 degrees Celsius, while in the winter they can drop to minus 30 degrees Celsius and sometimes even lower. Now we leave Yukon and head east to the Northwest Territories. And here we find the deepest lake in North America. This is the Great Slave Lake, and with a maximum depth of 614 meters, which is 2,014 feet, this is the deepest lake in North America. In addition to being the deepest lake in Canada, it's also one of the largest in Canada. It covers an area of approximately 28,000 square kilometers or 11,000 square miles. The lake stretches approximately 480 kilometers in length. Now, an awesome feature of the Great Slave Lake is that it's home to ice roads. In the winter months, when the ice gets thick enough, the lake transforms into an ice road, which connect remote communities and are vital for transportation and commerce during the colder months. Ice fishing is also a popular activity during this time. The Great Slave Lake is part of the Mackenzie River Basin, which is the longest river system in Canada. Water from the lake travels north and eventually drains into the Arctic Ocean. And there you have it. These are 5 more interesting facts about Canada's geography that many Canadians are not aware of. But there are many, like my followers, who do know the majority of these facts. But if you didn't, and you like content like this, remember to subscribe to my channel. It really helps me stay motivated to keep making content like this. By the time I'm recording this video, my channel probably has around 9,000 subscribers. My goal is to get to 10K by the end of this year. So let's see if we can make that happen. As always, if you like the video, let me know in the comments below what you'd like to see next, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.